Hey everybody, what's up? We're back. It's those wrestling girls. We missed you guys.
Yes.
We missed you. It's your girl Krista B
and Queen PR.
And today we have a dope episode to discuss. P, your line.
I'm very excited about this episode. I am, because it's
something that needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
So today we're discussing the state of wrestling injuries, whether it's accident, on purpose, how Twitter reacts to it, and it all stems from after we watched Sasha Banks' Chronicle, which was a really good chronicle. So P, you want to start?
Yeah, so I wanted to do this episode because I feel like I'm always talking about wrestling Twitter and social media, but it can be so ridiculous. And I've seen so many examples of wrestlers who are trashed online by another wrestler's super fans because they feel like their super fan, whoever they love, was injured by that person on purpose, and they just blow it out of proportion and they make it into this big thing. And what I feel like needs to be pointed out is like these are like human people. Like you have Brie, who, well, we'll get into how many instances that we have this happen where we have our reaction to things. Like I think we should first say like it's wrestling.
They put their bodies on the
ballet.
line, like they know where they. You get injured in ballet.
Yeah.
You do one wrong leap or whatever you ballet dancers call it, and you come down wrong on your leg, and you have a torn hamstring, ACL. You can roll your ankle. You could get injured in anything. You could get injured by walking down the street. Like accidents happen, but these super fans, these toxic Twitter fans, like we know you're fans of your person that you're fans of. Trust me,
we have our
people
favorites
that we
love too.
But we know that what comes with wrestling. And I feel like that's why we're like the real authentic fans, because we never just take it up. Oh well, this person injured them on purpose. Like especially if they sell the injury really good. You understand?
And half the time we don't even really know
if they're really injured
or not. And shit happens.
Right.
Like shit happens. This is a combat type of physical activity. It's gonna happen. So I want to talk about speaking of super fans, Alexa Bliss fans.
They're like the barbs of wrestling.
They are like the barbs of wrestling. They are intense. They are out there. They are in full force. And there's a clip that I had to mute all of the videos I came across on Twitter of Sasha Banks allegedly giving her a stiff kick on Monday Night Raw. Now, you've seen the clip, I'm sure, a million times by now. And what do you think of the kick? Do you think this is Sasha Banks, making a stiff move because she hates Alexa Bliss?
To be honest, I feel like they're dragging it. Any other, I guess because people are used to when you're trying to get the other opponent off of the side of the ring, they hit them on the head or punch them in the face or something. So I think that Sasha was just trying to kick her as like a little side thing so that, the referee won't see her hitting her. And it's unfortunate that she hit the pole, but maybe she sold it really good to make it look like she was really injured.
Yeah.
Like, this is a part of wrestling. It's like Sasha Banks is a good-ass heel.
Exactly.
This is what she does.
Exactly.
So I do not understand why people are going in. Like, I feel like those people who went in never saw Sasha Banks' Chronicle, don't care to watch Sasha Banks' Chronicle, don't care to know the emotion and the realness that she felt or the guilt that she felt from when she injured Paige or re-injured, like when Paige was re-injured.
And so, I totally agree with you. Like,
it's annoying. Like, stop.
It is.
Twitter trolls, like, we get you love Alexa Bliss. Like, trust me. When Roman was injured, when Becky's face got broke, I was ready to fight. But at the end of the day, first of all, Becky took that shit like a champ.
She definitely did. Well, we'll get to that too.
Becky 2 belts on the shirt today. Okay. Okay. But yeah, it's just like you have to learn how to separate the real from the fantasy or I don't want to say fake. Fake is the word you don't use in wrestling.
No, definitely not.
You have to understand these are performers. You have to understand that they have to sell anything they're thrown at them to make it look good, because Alexa could have just stood there. Bitch, all right, that don't hurt. That could have been a real tap, a cute tap on the thing.
Yeah, and that's exactly, I totally agree with you. Like, what I put on Twitter is that you're dealing with two people that are really good at their jobs Now, Alexa, like I always say, has the most charisma ever. So it does look like she's pissed. It does look like the kid came out of nowhere. You know why? Because maybe that's how it's supposed to look. And maybe they're both just really good at what they do. And it doesn't have to always be like a thing to where people started trashing Sasha Banks to where they started coming at her husband saying
how he makes his clothes. It should be illegal for him to be making her clothing and because they're married and how her clothing is inappropriate.
That's like his
job. He doesn't just make her clothes.
Definitely not.
He helps on other people's clothes too.
Yes, like including Ronda Rousey. So
I need them to go pick up a book.
Yeah,
and on then fashion designing.
Too, especially with Alexa Bliss fans, a lot of them are young. A lot of them are like 15 probably. Just started watching wrestling a handful of years ago. They don't really know what they're talking about half the time. So I even have to catch myself like, do I really like, even when that whole thing was happening, and shout out to our Twitter follower, Lana Like Blue. She's hilarious. And we both were like, yo, wrestling after the Monday Night Raw, wrestling Twitter was just like on a whole nother level of just like pure ridiculousness. But it happens like,
injuries happen.
And it might have looked like a stiff kick. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It's not the end of the world. Stop.
But maybe that's what Sasha Banks, the character,
exactly
intended for it to be, not Mercedes, the actual person. Like, once you get out of that ring and you're not on TV and you go home, you're no longer that character.
Yep.
You're the person that you are meant to be.
Yep.
Mercedes, I don't know her last name. Sorry. But that's who she is. And that person feels targeted, not Sasha, because Sasha be like, okay, well, F that. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. It's real hard.
Because I read the shit about celebrities, and I've read the shit about Sasha Banks going on since she left for WrestleMania, and I'm like, okay, imagine if you're the person they're talking about. Like, so I guess we can go into Sasha Banks and Paige, because that's a big thing, because I'm a huge Paige fan. I was happy. Oh my God, when she came back, I was like so fucking happy. I'm like,
almost crashed my car. Well, not my car. I was driving a car and I was yelling like, oh my God.
It was great because she had the neck injury. It wasn't looking like she was coming back. There were rumors and all that kind of stuff. And she came back and it was great. And she was put in the top spot. And then, unfortunately, at a house show, she got kicked in the neck, in the back of the neck or back area by Sasha Banks, and that kind of exasperated her injury. And now, of course, we know she can't wrestle, and she even had another neck surgery recently. And in her chronicle, Sasha Banks says that's when like kind of her depression started because Paige fans were attacking her on social media.
But I feel, and that's like for me. And it's never a time I never liked Sasha to be on some, well, fuck that bitch. Yeah. I don't care. Like, but I separate, like, seeing all that emotion and all the, like, she cried throughout most of her entire chronicle.
Yeah, she did.
She cried. Like, she felt so remorseful, so sad, so guilty.
Imagine.
Like, and then you have to go on and act like if this is not affecting you. Act like if this is not bothering you. Like, accidents happen. Like, we cannot stress enough how much accidents happen.
It's not like Sasha Banks went into the ring was like, I'm gonna kick Paige's you in the neck. Career tonight. Like, no. And I also feel like, and I don't know if you agree with this, and I feel like this about a lot of issues. I feel like it's the celebrities should speak out against online bullying.
Yes. Okay.
Like, at least say, guys, because you can't control what people are going to do. But at least say, like, you know, this is not cool. Like, even Beyonce, when her fans get too crazy, she'll even joke, like, all right, Beehive, like,
right, chill.
I do believe you do have some sort of responsibility to kind of just be like, guys, by the way, like, I'm not okay with you guys bullying other people on my behalf.
Right. And that's, I agree, like, they should step in. But sometimes, depending on what realm or entertainment, like, I work in entertainment.
Yeah, you do.
So when I post for, you know, I get comments, I read comments back, and it's been times where I was trolled. But they don't know that it's me, of course. But I know that it's me. So I'm just like, yo, like, all right, so I'm going to get bad reviews because, you know, they probably going to feel like I'm not performing as well. And, you know, and then I'll get, oh, great job on your story.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you sure? Because the comments, don't read the comments. People are Twitter trolls.
Yep,
People are going to sit here and hate. You're going to have this, but if your numbers go up and if your views go up and if you're doing what you need to do.
Engagement.
Yeah. Like, so I feel like, because wrestling is such a sport where everybody has their own fan base, like you have the Alexis squad, you have the 4 Horsewomen squad, Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, Bailey. You have the Ronda squad, the Nia squad.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to say, okay, y'all, stop that. You know, because even when Nia was talking about how she was being bullied and stuff like that or whatever, it didn't stop.
No. It didn't. And I don't think it is going to stop, unfortunately, because there are a lot of negative people out there. But just think about the guilt that Sasha Banks must feel knowing that she ended another person's career. Someone like Paige that was like one of a kind, a fan favorite.
Probably they were friends.
They were
NXT.
probably friends. And she's probably a fan of Paige's work.
Right.
And, you know, the guilt that I could only imagine how guilty I would feel if I God forbid, ended someone's career that way. And then to go on social media and have people
troll you
on a personal
tear
level.
You apart.
Yeah,
like she's human. Like she's a human being.
Yeah.
Mistakes happen. And I felt like watching her chronicle, I'm just like, right, she's about to be all attitude-ish.
I thought it was going to be very kayfabe in her character, but it was like very real.
So real. Like I feel like I wanted to give her a hug.
Me too.
Like, when people say she was mean and this, that, and third, I now understand why. She just didn't want to be bothered.
Yeah, she was going through a lot in the last couple years. She was
going through a lot. Like, I was at WrestleMania, and the part where she said she had no feeling in going out to the ring at WrestleMania.
That's huge.
And then going back and rewatching it and seeing that her face she had no expression on her face. And then when she's getting ready, she's sitting there crying. Like, that's a lot. For somebody who's been watching this, fell in love with this since 10 years old.
To wrestling.
She gives everything to wrestling. She puts on one of the greatest matches. She puts on great matches every time. Like Sasha never disappointed me at all. And she never disappoints me.
Never.
So for her to feel that way, and it's because of the trolls. Like I feel like the trolls increased her.
It's ridiculous.
And then for the fact that we all know her and Bailey are real life best friends.
Yeah. Pamela.
And
we're all passionate about wrestling. That's what makes wrestling so cool, is that we can all be passionate about it. We all love it. But there is a line. There should be a line, especially because we have social media. And another example of someone that went through depression and after being trolled is Brie. Bella. She
Bella
basically, I don't know who watches Total Bellas, but she basically went through a depression after botching a couple times when she returned, and she unfortunately injured Liv Morgan.
She gave her a concussion.
And she wasn't going to be able to perform at a big show, and it did suck. And I was unfortunately one of those people that was like, oh man, you know, damn, Brie. Just because
feeling
more
disappointed.
For Liv more. Yeah, disappointed in Brie's comeback because
I'm
a Brie Bella
trolling.
fan. And concerned for the welfare of Liv Morgan.
Right.
Now, at one point was I like, Brie Bella sucks. She's this. She needs to
needs
get
to
out the
mom.
ring. This.
Yeah, no.
And I'm reading all of this. And I read Bella hate all the time because, you know, people be hating. But it just fed into the Bella hate even more. Like, and it was disgusting, the shit I would read on like social media.
Yeah, she even disclosed on her podcast how bad she was hurt. Their Bella Twins podcast, how bad she was hurt by that, how it really discouraged her, how, you know, she's afraid to probably even come back, even if she wanted to.
She's basically retired because of it.
She's really, really retired. But now, I mean, I'm always here to see the Bella Twins.
Too.
Like, always
especially
here
with
to
the
see
tag team championships. It's just like,
right.
I know they can't probably win the belts again, but I'm always here for them to pop back up.
Right, but even Nikki can't even wrestle anymore.
I know
it sucks. We're praying for a miracle for Nikki.
We really, 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 really
and Brie, like really praying for them, but. And like I said, injuries happen, and even Liv Morgan was just like, you know, mistakes happen.
I'm
like
she took to
Twitter, like
it's gonna fucking.
She took to Twitter to try to calm down everything. Like it happens. Like I'll be back.
Even Daniel Bryan, I love that when he just listed all the people that he's injured by mistake and who've injured him by mistake,
and nobody
and
said
I love
nothing.
that he mention names of superstars that we all know and love. Like, oh, I've injured Roman Reigns before, or I'm just saying names. So just to make it, like, I love that he did that, because it's like, okay, this fucking happens. Like, stop villainizing my wife because you want to, basically, like, because she gave you a reason.
Right. And you see how when guys injure guys, it's okay.
Yes.
Oh, guys are supposed
so glad
to.
You brought that
they're
up.
rough housing. They're this, they're that. They're built to be, rough.
Oh, he's stiff. He works stiff.
Right.
Yeah.
But when women, they're supposed to be cute and dainty and just slap each other around and throw a little bit soft kicks or whatever. They're not expected to jump off the top rope. They're not expected to jump through ropes. They're not expected to swing a chair or go through a table or climb a ladder or jump off a Hell in a Cell cage or hit a sledgehammer or use a tag team as a weapon. They're not expected to do any of that. They're expected to come out, show their bodies, slap you around a little bit, pin you cute and sexy, like, and then leave. Like, what
and
reality
like
are we living in at this point?
They do something that shows that they're working hard. Like, the men, it's a problem. And they get trashed way harder than the women do. Like, Samoa Joe injured TJ. He doesn't get villainized on social media the way that Sasha Banks did.
Even when Kevin Owens injured Sami Zayn, when he turned to him and he had neck surgery, like, literally.
Yeah.
Off the apron.
No one was sending him.
Everybody was mostly upset on the fact of, oh my God, how could you turn on your best friend?
Basically. Yeah.
Instead of, oh my God, you took it overboard and injured this man. We hate, like, they weren't trolling like they trolled the women, and it sucks.
No. Oh, no. So another quick example, and then we'll go to an example of when this actually worked for somebody's career, is Naomi and Oksana.
Yes.
Now, that was a good example because she landed, I don't remember what move she did. I think she went to do, like, a knee in the face and then, like, she basically cracked her eye socket.
Mm-hmm.
And
everybody backs, like, okay, so they aired the episode on Total Divas.
Yes.
So while they were watching it, you saw the divas who were on air, like, in the back, like, oh shit, it really touched. Like, it really, really hit.
They were like,
and
oh shit.
They were like, Naomi's not moving. Mm-hmm. So when she came to the back, she was kind of like holding her eye, like she couldn't open her eye. She's like, I feel like something is really, really wrong. And this is before I think, like, Twitter was really up and coming or raging or whatever. So I don't know
I don't even know if the public knew in that moment like they do now, because
so I don't know if she was even getting that Twitter hate or social media hate. But the simple fact, I'm pretty sure she was. But the simple fact is, Oksana apologized because it was a complete accident.
Exactly. And again, like, that kind of stuff is bound to happen. So another example that works for us, and then I also want to ask you another question, is Becky and Nia Jax. Now, before we get into that, Nia Jax retweeted a tweet of an Alexa Bliss fan account, basically perpetuating that Sasha Banks hit Alexa Bliss on purpose. Mm-hmm. Then a lot of people that hate Nia Jax went and started trashing her because they felt like she shouldn't have retweeted that because it's being hypocritical, because she talked about how she was attacked when she hurt Becky last year. How do you feel about Nia Jax participating in that?
Okay, so one, if she retweeted a video agreeing with Alexa fans saying that, yes, Sasha stiff kicked her, you have to remember, Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss are best friends.
Yeah, they are.
So now that could be ammunition for when Nia Jax comes back to whip Sasha's ass for coming after my best friend or trying to do a cheap shot to my best friend. So for those who are Sasha fans or fans of whatever, to sit here and trash Nia is like, are y'all even watching wrestling? Or do y'all watch it for that week, forget the history of something, and then go on Twitter to try to make your voices heard? Like, what? Go back. And maybe this is all playing into a Nia Jax character. Nia Jax is cleared to come back. Or she's coming back really soon.
So who knows?
Who knows? But my thing is that they're friends at the end of the day. And maybe she retweeted that to agree with those, this did look stiff. Or maybe she retweeted it to come back on some, Sasha, you got an X on your back now.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. And we just talked about way too many examples of people who spoken out about being affected by how fans treated them on social media. Like, that is just ridiculous. Like, we already listed like 4 people. One wants to retire because of it. But there's one example, and I think it's like one of those things that like you can't like script, but Nia Jax
and Becky Lynch
breaking Becky Lynch's face and
Becky
going into
like
Survivor Series. She took it like a champ, and I know everybody knows about it. Survivor Series build up 2018, and the hit heard around the world. And she breaks Becky's face, and she's concussed, and she doesn't know what's going on, but somehow she's still fighting. She's just going with the motion. That adrenaline. She's going with the motion. She's bleeding, and she's just, oh my God. Whoever couldn't watch that live, I feel bad for y'all, because that was just so epic, because she's literally just like wiping blood and just like doing everything she has to do, and she has to miss out on what people think at that time is the biggest match of her career against Ronda Rousey.
It would have been.
Unfortunately, she's not cleared, and Nia Jax becomes the biggest heel. She's the most hated person
but
ever.
It's also a hero in a sense. Like,
yeah,
she's a heel hero.
Yeah, now it's like, oh shit, that's kind of like the best thing that could have
happened to Becky, because
I hate to say, I don't want anyone to get
hurt,
but.
Like, of course, but I feel like because of that, Becky literally had to claw her way.
Yeah,
starting from Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
and she tweeted it. I've had the best 12 months.
Yeah,
the best year, and I feel like she did. I agree. Like, if you go back after she turned on Charlotte at SummerSlam, what was that? SummerSlam 2018. Okay, so Royal Rumble. She lost to Asuka. She came in for Lana. She beat Charlotte. She knocked her out the ring. Won Royal Rumble. Had an injured knee. Didn't want to get tested. Didn't want to get tested or cleared to see, Got put on an indefinite suspension, so she did it. Finally did it. They said she was okay to wrestle. She just had to, do some rehab, a little bit of rehab, fine, whatever. Build up, fights, turn into the man,
Yep.
Charlotte leaves. She's injured. She comes back. She comes to the aid of Becky, ends up in the triple threat match for her, Carmella. And Becky pushes Becky off of Carmella. But no, not pushes. She gave her
see, that's from last year's SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you already passed that, and now we're into Royal Rumble.
My bad.
But back to...
But I'm saying, like, it leads up to her transformation into the man, and then...
It was a good year.
Going into her being hit in the face by Nia, and her having to feel like she has to do it all over again, to her ending up and becoming Becky 2 belts. So,
it's been a good year.
And the reason why I feel like I like the fact that Becky got injured this time, because... nobody really trolled them two as bad as they did the other ones. Like, it really played well into the storyline.
It did. Well, people were pretty vicious to
They were vicious to Nia, but Nia, I feel like Nia kept that heel character going while on Twitter.
Yeah, I like how she owned it. And that's a good example.
And she used it like, I'll break your face. And she just kept putting it out.
Yeah, like, she was like, yep, that's what I did. And I would own it too, especially if my character just turned heel. I would totally like own that shit. But not everyone every situation
skin like that.
Yeah, like not every situation is like that. Like Ronda Rousey, another person that got trashed by wrestling fans on social media.
No, by Alexa Bliss fans. Let's get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Alexa Bliss fans.
She accidentally injured some people too, and she injured
Alexa Bliss twice. She concussed her twice.
Yeah. And she got trashed by people, and it's like we have to be mindful that what we say on social media, it affects people. So we just want to make sure that we keep our passion for our whoever we like. Like, let's just keep it respectable and fun on social media. Let's not make it like that. But one thing that I want to bring up, because it kind of fueled the Sasha and Alexa kick thing, is the backstage relationships of these women. Because that's a thing. Because you got the social media also blurs the lines of Like, yeah, because for example, before Sasha Banks came back, everybody wanted, and Bayley won the SmackDown Women's Championship belt. Everybody wanted Sasha Banks to come back and challenge Bayley for the belt. But I'm just like, not if I see them on social media posting about how much they love each other all the time. Then it's like kind of like not gonna. So do you think that they keep those sorts of things in mind?
Yeah, they have to. Well, yeah. That would be stupid if they didn't.
Yeah.
Like, you have to keep that in mind. I feel like now, sorry, P, they shouldn't break them up no more. I know how much you love
unless Bayley turns on Sasha. That's the only way it'll work for
me. Yep.
That's the only way it'll be exciting, because then it's just like, oh shit, she really a bad guy.
But it'll be like, she's turning her again. How long is this turn going to last now?
Yeah, but it just seems different now, because Bayley never officially before had turned a leaf, and now she's like officially like somebody different. Like now I'm like, okay, Bayley, you running and cheating and
she Eddie Guerrero.
Yo,
Guerrero in out here. R.I.P. Eddie.
Now you got Carmella in the mix.
Oh, and just to clear it up for you guys, here's why Carmella came out to Charlotte yesterday on SmackDown. Bayley called out Carmella, Zelina Vega, and I think Liv Morgan on Twitter. And she's like, I want to fight y'all. Where y'all at? Do y'all even still wrestle?
Ooh.
Yeah, that was an and out oop moment. And so when, as much we was all anticipating for Becky to come out and help Charlotte, Carmella came out, and Bayley's like, well, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're one of my best friends. Yeah, but you called me out on Twitter, and I'm answering your call.
So and she also did an interview saying that she was sick of Bayley and Sasha shit because they're doing fucked up shit. And they're cheating and all that. So she had to step in.
So Carmella answered that call to Bayley, and Bayley was surprised when sis picked up and was like, oh, I'm here. That's it.
Do you see them putting the belt on Carmella?
Like, hell yeah.
Carmella versus Bayley.
Carmella needs another title run. I'm tired of her being our true sidekick. Even though it's fun and I love the dance break and stuff.
Yeah.
Stop jumping on the man back. He's 50. Stop it. But no, I would like to see her with another title run. That doesn't.
That would actually be really, really cool. And it's interesting to see because Total Divas is coming back out. And that is another example where we get to see behind the curtain, I guess, and see the personal side of them. So I'm even more curious to see like how they've been affected, because that's when we get to really see like how they feel about things. And we get to see Naomi again.
Come back, Naomi. We miss you.
Right? Who I really, really miss. So what do you want our listeners to take home from this episode?
That accidents happen. That, like I said earlier, I can't stress enough how much accidents happen. Like, people are human. They literally give their lives. They put their lives and their bodies on the line every night, traveling the world, lack of sleep, tirelessly in and out, and they put their passion, their hearts, their minds, their soul into it. So accidents happen. Like, okay, so we posted a question on Twitter yesterday, and we actually have a response back. So I'm going to read that response. So this person, she goes by J Rain. She's in the indie scene right now. We're not going to mention where she wrestles from or whatever, but she's in the indie scene.
And we wanted to ask a wrestler, an actual female wrestler, like, to speak on this and because, again, we don't wrestle. We're just speaking from. So what did she say?
So she goes, her injury happened about a year ago, and she was training. So she said, I was taking what I can only describe as a swinging rock bottom, and my foot got caught underneath me. And when me and the person took a bump, I ended up fracturing a bone in my foot and was out for 6 or 7 months. Now, if that happens in practice, imagine how it could have happened in a real life show.
Yeah.
And it would have probably looked like her opponent injured her. But being at the indie scene, I feel like people in the indie scene are more understanding.
I agree. It's more realistic.
It's more realistic, and it's
like
in
fans are, I think,
real intimate.
More yeah.
It's more intimate. Now, if this can happen only in practice, imagine what would have happened if it was a real life show, and if she was on that WWE circuit. Whoever she was wrestling would have been chewed up alive.
Yep. And it's just like one of those things. And I'm sure, and again, we advocate for all performers to be careful, all superstars to watch out for each other. That's just
they need
a
to
part
start
of the
putting those
business.
PSA episodes out again, like the don't try this at home.
Yeah, definitely.
That they put their bodies on the lines and stuff.
Yeah.
Don't. Because we had that in Attitude Era. We had those commercials.
Because they were also doing the most.
Yeah, we were reckless Attitude Era kids. Thanks WWE.
Right.
But yeah, like I feel like kids and stuff need that, or they need to do a PSA about social media now and how
I think they should do
social media does affect
social media etiquette, like, you know, don't trash people if you don't agree with them. Like, you know, if you're a Sasha fan, like you. And another thing I want to stress too is like you can be a fan of more than one thing. Like, especially with AEW coming out, NXT premiering on USA, like everyone's like, oh, you either gotta watch Raw and SmackDown or NXT, or you either gotta watch WWE or AEW, or you gotta like Impact or that. Like, I can be a Sasha Banks fan and like Alexa Bliss. Like, we can like who the fuck we want to like.
Yeah, she stresses this to me every time we go to a live event. And I'm just like, sis, pick a side. Pick a side.
It's so hard for me, especially
hard.
One with the 4 horsewomen and one with the women too. It's like, I just cheer. She
cheers for everybody. So, for instance, if somebody's say it's Becky and Alexa.
I got yelled at by some kids at Evolution because I had a Becky shirt on and I was also chilling for Charlotte. Mm-hmm. And they were like, you can't cheer for Becky. I mean, you can't cheer for Charlotte. You have a Becky shirt. And I was just like, are you kidding me?
I was like, welcome to your first live event.
I'm like, what? It's not my first live event. But I'm
like welcome to the live event.
But if that's social media, it's like, oh my God. And I follow a lot of stan accounts. Like, I follow probably the biggest Becky Lynch fan account. And you should see some of the back and forth she goes through with like anti-Becky fans. Like, it's
talking about Stephanie.
Yes,
I see it.
It's crazy. I'm like, wait, what? It's not that serious, guys. Like, it's really, 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 really not. Like, we can all like whoever we want to like.
Right. Like, can't nobody say I can't like I can't like Roman, but I have to like Dean. Are you dumb? Like, are you dumb?
That's like so silly.
I'm sorry, Jon Moxley.
Right. Like, we're not supposed to like Jon Moxley anymore because he's in AEW. Like,
screw you.
No, Krista, you gotta choose. You gotta choose. You can't like Dean Ambrose. Well, whoever he is, you can't like him anymore because he's not with WWE. Sorry.
That's cute.
And you have a Becky shirt on, so you can't like Sasha either.
Oh, grandma. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Oh, please. I think this is the only hard decision for me too.
Yeah, it's
because I'm liking where all their characters are going
right now. Yeah,
like when I told you I missed a clip from Monday Night Raw, and all 4 of them came out.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
When I saw it again, like my heart literally sank. Tears were in my eyes.
Oh my I'm just Charlotte looks so good in that jacket.
Yo, you're like, sis, where you got your jacket from? Like, hook us
up.
I
was asking her. She didn't respond, but it's all right, Charlotte.
Hook us up, sis.
Right, let us know where you got your jacket from. She's been looking really good lately, too.
But the situation at hand is like accidents happen, you guys. Like, you can't.
And let's be reasonable.
Yeah, you can't really sit here and troll or trash or damage somebody's character because they take this home. Like, Sasha said how she was so mean to her husband. How she knew something was wrong when Bailey just didn't say anything. It was just like, okay.
Yeah,
like,
it's time.
Especially if you know her backstory and how much she loved this business since she was 10. Eddie Guerrero is her idol. Yep. You know, this is all she knew. Especially she's talking about her upbringing wasn't so great. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what people fail to realize too. Yeah. Like, because they have the glitz and glam now that they grew up perfect in whatever world that they grew up in, and then
definitely not.
It's just like, no, that's not what happened. Mm-hmm. That's not what happens. Like, people go, like, you never know somebody's story. Yeah. You never know, especially in the wrestling world. Like, people probably go to wrestling to let their frustrations out.
Seriously.
I think that's why I started watching again.
Yeah.
If I can't hit nobody, I'm going to make sure somebody else get hit. I'm about to be like, yes, thank you. I needed that. Yes. I needed you to hit her with that chair. Yes. I needed you to kick him in the balls. Just so, you know. So let people live and like what they do. Because if y'all keep like, oh my God, I can't. I could go on forever, but I'm not.
Right. But yeah, I think this episode was very much needed, and we hope we got through to some people.
Right.
Yeah.
And if y'all want to come and troll for us, bring it. Because I got all
You want the smoke?
We want, in the words of Street Profits, we want all the smoke.
Yes.
All the smoke.
Yes.
Yeah, so I believe, are we done? I mean, so. No, we have to give a major shout out. You guys, I just did a dope write-up.
Oh, yes.
On this new Kickstart wrestling promotion called Kickstart My... Let me make sure I'm saying it right, because I don't want them to come for me. Don't need them to come for me.
And if you want us to do any features or interviews on anything related to wrestling, hit us up. We're always down.
Yup.
Especially if you're based in the New York City area. Oh, and while you look for that, Krista, we make 1 year very soon.
We do, yay!
So I'm just going to say for everyone that is a fan of those wrestling girls, save the date for November 6, 2019. And if you are in the New York City area, definitely save the date because you might be able to have a drink with us.
Or several. Okay. So I did this amazing write-up on this dope promotion started by 3 friends who are into wrestling but also have their daily lives. And the Kickstarter is called Kickstart My Heart Wrestling, and they're doing their very first promotional show it's called Body Slamming Breast Cancer.
Love that.
Yes, it's so dope. It's on my site, unapologeticallyeclectic.com. Go read it, retweet it, support it. It's definitely for a good cause. If you cannot make it, it's in Minneapolis, I believe. Yes, in Minneapolis. So I know a lot of you won't be able to go out there and make it, but still go on their site, support, donate. They have a lot of wrestlers who were really putting their all for this. And I know cancer is a subject that
it hits everyone.
It hits everyone in some way, shape, or form, especially because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Yep.
So we as women, first of all, those wrestling girls will support and will donate.
Absolutely.
We want to encourage all of our other followers to support and donate. And if you can make it out there, just make it out there. Just say that Krista B from those wrestling girls sent you. Retweet, repost. We want to get this up and moving because breast cancer is something that we really want to put down.
Yeah.
That so no other woman or male, because men can catch breast cancer too.
Yep.
Ever have to go through again. So just go support it, go read it, go retweet it, shout me out, shout out those wrestling girls. And I believe that it's it.
Yeah.
And on that note, it's your girl, Krista B.
And Queen PR.
And we are out.